The makeup room, they think it's all over. This one today, Mr. Gale.
Yeah, looks nice. I mean, nice on that.
Right, time to get into character. And welcome to this specially recorded video edition of They Think It's All Over, the sports quiz that's also got a book out, priced £9.99 from your favourite bookshop. Although not Rory's favourite bookshop, obviously, which has sadly just been closed down by the Vice Squad. With David Lee is a football commentator who, during the close season, got away from it all on the beach. You couldn't miss him. He was the one wearing a sheepskin thong. John Watson. And with Gary and Rory is a Scottish comedian and football fan who actually trained as an accountant, but being Scottish, he narrowly failed to qualify. Fred Macaulay. We kick off with our goal celebrations round. We watch a goal being scored and then celebrated, and we ask the reason behind the celebration. Gary, Rory and Fred, your goal comes from a match between Blackpool and Gillingham. Here's Blackpool's top marksman and ex-Stoke player Tony Ellis, nodding one in.
So the Seasiders have another corner. Ellis up as usual, and he's there, and he'll claim it.
The footballers have Blackpool Rock. It's got relegation written right through it.
Hey, that's a good start, Gary. Thank you. It's footballers miming their hobbies. Like, footballers have 3 hobbies, including golf, and they're doing golf because golf is easier to mime than shagging a page 3 girl.
Is there anything easier than shagging a page 3 girl?
Let's ask Gary. You've had a few page 3 girls any time?
Yeah, so's David, but it's page 3 of Horse and Hound.
Have I seen you on that win, lose or draw programme recently?
Oh, Gary, you've got an interesting life, being up at 10:15 in the morning.
And you were on it?
Yeah, well, I was getting paid. You were watching it.
As a Stoke fan, it must be nice to get a choice for a change.
I did 18 holes in Blackpool once. That was a hell of a stag weekend. Actually, I've never played golf. Actually, I once played crazy golf. No, actually, it was a charity cricket match where I dropped some acid. Am I right in thinking that golf is a wanker's game? Yeah. And they dress up as wankers just to prove the point. Did you play golf, Fred?
Yeah.
It's very popular in Scotland, isn't it?
So is wanking. I even put my Pringle jumper on for that.
I wear a glove.
I must have had a golf day and they were playing the day before and one of them had a good hop. Yeah. Knocked one in and...
Don't mumble, Gary.
It was a play on that, wasn't it?
I'll give you 1, which may turn into 3.
Lucky you, Gary.
If the other side can't get it more perfectly. I mean, you're just about there, but if we get the names and the actual incidents from the other side.
Blackpool players.
Yeah? Yeah, you may laugh. Have you met John Watson?
I also
point out here, Nick, the last time I was on this show, we lost by 1 point. So don't let this confuse you that I'm going to be the match-winning player here. But I think what's happened at this...
What time's your car coming?
About 5 minutes the way I'm going. We're at Blackpool here, and I think what's happened is the...
You don't have to go from the beginning of the...
No. Well, all right, I'll be quick then.
Yeah.
Blackpool Football Club have a golf day every year.
Right.
And they're supposed to be honest about their handicap before they start. Right. So everyone sort of gets a fair game. Well, what happened on this occasion was Tony Ellis lied about his handicap. He's a lot better player than he said he was.
Not football, is
No. Golf. So when he won the golf tournament, he said to his colleagues, when we get on the pitch, and next time I score, we'll do the golf routine.
How do you know these things?
You just read these things from time to time in the local paper.
Local Blackpool.
You get the local Blackpool paper delivered to your house.
How much tonnage of paper do you go for a week?
I'll give you the bonus point. And here is the other player in that celebration, Andy Priest, to tell the story.
We had a golf day, all the players, and myself and Tony Ellis were partnered together, and we won. The lads weren't too happy about our handicaps, saying that we cheated. And that might be true, maybe just a little bit.
That was his impression of Bjork there. So, indeed, Blackpool had Bjork's a popular singer. So, Blackpool had a golf day. Maybe if they had the odd football day every now and again, they might not be in Division 2. David's team now. For Motti, it's one of the most exciting fixtures in the football calendar. For David and Lee, it's Carlisle against Cardiff. This is Carl Dale trotting one home for Cardiff.
Yes, the referee says free kick. And it's taken quickly into Dale. Dale turns and scores.
One thing Lee's never going to need, really, is I think the key to this one, which is a haircut.
Right.
Because I think
It's about hair.
Yeah.
I think it will be by the time I finish.
All right, okay.
How you got?
John, leave it. We've all had a drink. Leave it.
It's about hair. I'll just leave it to the other guys.
Some more questions about hair, so Lee leaves it to the other guys. That's what I suggest.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. I mean, I think what's happened here is... in the week leading up to that game, Carl Dale's obviously had some sort of a haircut. Probably not a proper one from a hairdresser, but probably either his wife or a member of his family or his ex.
So you're going to run through the whole family?
Well, yeah, I'm not sure.
A member of his family, his wife, a friend, maybe his uncle,
but
we don't know.
What's happened is he's walked into training, hasn't he, into the dressing room with this so-called new haircut, and all the other players have taken one look and said, where did you get that done?
Yeah.
So on the Saturday he scores, or probably on the Sunday or Monday now, the way football is.
John, what do you think about the Sunday and Monday games then? Well, we're on the subject, John. I mean, you brought it up, so let's go with that.
I was going to say, John, the way you're going now, just
I prefer to do mine on a Saturday, Lee, really.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
All right, and the football?
Well, around basically they've gone, well, we can cut your hair better than that. So when he scored, they've done a mock celebration of a haircut.
Right. A bit more detail?
As if we were a little bit flippant there, John.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's a serious subject.
I feel under pressure here, you know.
You
You
do.
expect me to answer all these.
You know what it is? It's because you haven't got your coat on. That's why you're under pressure. If you had your sheepskin coat there, you feel happy with that, wouldn't you?
I would.
With a sheepskin. What about it, John? If you're looking at Nick, if you're answering, we'll try this. Just look at Nick.
Right.
Look at Nick.
Yeah.
Pretend you're answering there. If I just sit here and went, bah,
Feel more at home?
I do now.
I can't do too much, otherwise Rory gets excited. How long have you had that coat? You seem to have had the same coat since I was born.
Well, it looks like the same coat, but I had a fellow in Hornchurch.
He's going to fucking tell us! I can't believe it!
I want to know.
I know you want to know. I'm trying to tell you.
I think would you like to know about his coat? Yeah. Tell us. Your coat is very popular.
The quiz is just incidental.
It is. The coat.
You know the Essex area, don't you? Well, there's a fellow in Hornchurch used to make those. Used to actually have the skins in his garage.
He had skins in the garage?
Yeah.
And you didn't find that odd?
Used to make coats, right? Okay. So I bought 4.
Yeah.
4, thinking that they'd last me the rest of my career.
Right. And unfortunately, your career lasted longer.
You're right. Yeah. I'm pleased to say. So I wore all the coats. Well, one of them went to a museum.
What, on its own?
Yeah. They borrowed it for an exhibition.
Oh, they borrowed. I thought they meant your coat.
I'm going to give you the 3 points anyway. But as you'll see, there's slightly more to the hair story, and here's Carl Dale himself to explain.
Well, basically, I wanted to get my hair cut before we played Carlisle, and there wasn't enough time, so I decided to have a go myself with the clippers I had at home. Turned into an absolute nightmare, and got the mickey taken out by the lads. And we decided if I scored that day to make a celebration out of it.
So there we have it. The Cardiff players were taking the piss out of Carl Dale's new haircut. Cardiff are, of course, the only non-English team to win the FA Cup, apart from Chelsea last season. Their manager, Russell Osman, famously appeared in the film Escape to Victory, where his only line was, "But we can win this game," a phrase he's had to give up since he joined Cardiff. At the end of that round, Gary's team have 1 point, and David's team, or indeed John Watson, have 4 points. We press on with our injury board round. Each captain picks a number which reveals a famous sporting figure and an object. What we'd like to know is how the object injured the sportsperson and put them out of action. David's team first, if you want to pick a number.
2, please.
Number 2. All right. That's England frontman Alan Shearer and a communal bath. So how was the £15 million man kiboshed during the communal dip?
15 million quid.
Yeah.
Did he trip on his wallet? It was quite an interesting story about the bath at Southampton.
How interesting?
Well, you remember when Laurie McMillan was the manager of Southampton?
Oh, is this one where
They're most successful.
Yes.
He was allegedly in a little bit of a push and shove with one of his players, wasn't he? Was it Mark Wright?
Mark Wright, it was, yeah.
Was it Southampton, you said?
Yeah, I think it's...
They haven't got any baths at Southampton. They use the Solent, don't they? They might have been hit by a container ship.
Brilliant idea. Alan Shearer got hit by a container ship.
Gary, you know when you used to play...
It's only a small ground.
That communal baths where you played as well?
Various places, yeah.
Did they ever tell you to wash behind your ears?
Some physiotherapists were insistent.
And you used to say, I ain't got time.
Yeah, you will do it. Now there's so much money in football, presumably most clubs, like something like Tottenham where you play the bus, there must be 11 or 14 individual baths, aren't there? So why do people use the communal bath?
Because it's sexier.
I want to buy that answer and sell it to the Sun.
Rory jumped in front of him, his hair soaked all the water up, Alan jumps in, broke his leg. Old Lillette McGrath, as we call it.
That's for a slightly different reason.
Yeah. I was going to say there's more major difference between Rory and a Lynette.
Was it a very early bath?
No.
And the Romans were still in it.
They must have put some liquid in there, the soap that should have gone in or something, and he's come out of it with a sort of like what you call a nappy rash type.
I'll have to give you that. I'll give you 3 points for that. Yeah, the story is that when Shearer was at Southampton, the team ran out of bubble bath, so they decided to use soap powder instead, which is a great idea, but Alan was covered in a rash for days. It wasn't the washing powder rash that stopped him playing. The team came out of the bath so fluffy, they couldn't cram them all into the team bus. Paul Gascoigne also suffered a bath time injury when he got into the tub at home and scraped his arse on the coal. David Gower, of course, is no stranger to bath time tragedies. Only last week, his bath of Bollinger 58 was ever so slightly over-chilled. Alan Shearer's nickname is Smokey because he quite likes smoky bacon crisps. We won't tell you why Rory's nickname is Cheesy What's-It. Why is it, Rory?
Well, actually, it's because I rather like them. And also, I don't wash my knob either.
That joke explained for the hard thinking. Gary's team now, it's your turn to select a number.
Number 11, please, Nicholas.
Number 11, okay. No, that's the mighty Fulham, indeed, and a football pitch. So, how did the pitch injure the lads from Craven Cottage?
Was this Mad Jack pitch?
It's just not ours.
Is it? Oh, sorry.
Was it Man Jack pitch? Just in case.
Gary Lineker, a man so sad he'll Nick Leehurst's failed jokes.
You don't like that Mad Jack pitch?
No, tell me about it.
Mad Jack pitch. He was a legend in the East End. He was madman. He was madman. And then he moved out to Hornchurch, right? And in later years, he used to skin sheep.
Fulham Football Club, Fulham Football Team.
Injured by a pitch?
Was something thrown on the pitch which injured them? Glass?
Coin?
No.
I don't believe they throw coins on Scottish football pitches.
They throw IOUs on Scotland, and you get a nasty paper cut. Oh, is it the white from the lines?
Yeah, the lime thing.
You've got that look in your eye that you're going to say, is it? No.
No.
No, was
Keep going,
white
keep
in the
going.
lines then?
Yes, you're getting much closer.
They snorted it.
Can you guess what was put down?
Yeah.
Bleach.
Stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
close.
white.
I'm going to give you 3 points.
Substance.
I'll do anything rather than hand it over to Marty. Yes, the answer is that the Fulham lads were injured by the white lines. They got burns and blisters when the groundsman at Ashford Town used pure lime instead of whitewash by mistake. The Arsenal team played there the following week and got severely burnt nostrils. And so at the end of that round, Gary's team have 4 points and David's team have 7. In our next round, we ask the question, what's going on? We show each team some unusual sports-related footage and ask them to explain what it's all about. David, Lee and John, what do you suppose is happening here?
Is it what women do when they're preparing to go out on a dinner date with Rory?
I should just say, it is a genuine competition, okay? So
It's a genuine competition?
Yeah.
Was it sort of Channel 5's latest showpiece drama?
Can't be Channel 5, you could see it too easily.
That's because I've got the aerial here.
It looks like, not martial arts, but as if someone's kind of showing you how to defend yourself or
Good.
kick somebody or...
Good.
What would that, what do you call it when you...
Yeah. But the trouble is, if that is an international bodyguard competition, therefore there must also be an international assassin competition.
Well, they have a head-to-head at the end.
It's a league system. They have cremation instead of relegation, that's all.
You're virtually there. I'll give you 3 points for that. In fact, it was a clip from the World Bodyguard Championships, which are held every year in Russia. The rather attractive girl with the auburn hair was declared the winner. She was trailing a disappointing 12th until the swimwear section. Gary's team now. It looks like sumo, but not as we know it. What is going on here?
Japanese version holding the baby, wasn't it?
Well, you lived in Japan, Gary. Yeah. Although never worked there, obviously.
Fair.
You didn't see me wrestling when you were there, Gary?
No, it wasn't.
Good fun?
Not particularly.
Well, sumo only lasts about 10 seconds of action.
Yeah, there's
isn't
lots
it?
and lots and lots.
It's about twice as long as you.
Do you watch it at all, Rory?
No, I'll watch looking in the mirror.
I'll watch it just for the crack.
And there was a man man with a mask. He looks as though he's just gone along and scared the shit out of the children to test the nappies.
That is very close.
Gary? Is it about...
It's going to make them cry, haven't they?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Rory, would you have something to add then?
No.
Yeah, Gary's got it exactly right, with some good help from Fred there. In fact, it's an event from Japan where sumo wrestlers do everything possible to make babies cry. And the first one to make a baby cry is the winner. Why don't they just drop them? The competition was won by the bloke who waited till his baby was fast asleep and then tried to tiptoe out of the room without waking him up. And so, at the end of that round, Gary's team have 7 points and David's team have 10 points. Now we come to the moment that those of you who've been waiting have all been waiting for. It's our special They Think It's All Over Grand Prix round from Silverstone. Gary and Rory racing in the Jordan cars will fight it out with Lee and David in the Williams in hot rubber action around the famous twists and turns that make up the Silverstone course. We go over now live to the track where I'm waiting to take us through the preparations for the countdown to the build-up of the big race. A state-of-the-art Formula One racing car, powered by a state-of-the-art 10-cylinder, 750 horsepower engine, which is capable of speeds of up to 220 miles per hour. The ultimate driving machine. Interesting, but totally irrelevant, because our competitors are going to be driving one of these, a Formula 27 state-of-the-art dinky car, powered by engines like this, which will of course be familiar to any of you at home who have a Flymo. They may not look big or expensive, but like David Gower's hair, appearances can be deceptive. This little beauty can leave one of Damon Hill's arrows standing on the grid, which is of course what the arrows tend to do. So our competitors are going to be having filmed practice laps in one of these cars, and then there's going to be a head-to-head tyre-burning Grand Prix of 6 laps. So now, let's go to the entrance gate where our competitors are arriving. First to arrive is Gary Lineker, winner of last year's Sporting Challenge, clearly the favourite. He'll be racing in the Jordan #1 car this afternoon. Captaining the opposite team, he'll be racing in #1 in the Williams colours this afternoon, is David Gower. Very much the man in form. Here's Lee Hurst, driving the #2 Williams of the Gower team today. Every inch the dark horse, except that he's not dark or a horse. And here's Rory McGrath. Don their fireproof suits so vital for survival. These garments represent the cutting edge of space-age technology. We got them from Blade 7. The fireproof tape are doing a vital job for everyone's well-being. So, David, looking forward to the drive?
Very much. I'm just a little bit worried though. Where's the chauffeur going to sit?
I just feel you're maybe a little overconfident already practicing with the champagne.
Oh no, Jeroboam every morning at 11's, that's me.
Yeah, well, I suppose you're usually back in the pavilion by 11, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a terrific challenge for you, Rory. Several tight corners. It's going to be nip and tuck.
Yeah, but I hope to fit into the car somehow.
Now, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about the race commentary, Gary. I mean, racing commentators haven't got the best of reputations. Murray Walker, for instance, people tend not to think he's that good. In fact, his commentaries, for instance, would you be prepared to say, you know, that Walker's are crap? Gary? You know, I mean, as opposed to say Derek Pringle, for instance, at the cricket, who's a much better commentator. So, you know, I was just wondering, Gary, if you'd be prepared to say once and for all that Walkers are crap, but Pringles are fantastic.
On the contrary, Nick, I would say that Walker's commentaries are among the crispiest and with the best flavours around. You should try it.
You're a very sad man indeed. Who's your helmet, Gary? Right, I think it's time to go. You've all got your helmets on?
No, I haven't.
Oh, sorry, Lee, I think it was the stickers confused me. The competitors are in their cars and they're ready for the time lapse. Lee's found a crash helmet. You'll have to take my word for it on that. So let's go over the trackside on the sign of the inimitable Murray Walker, as imitated by someone much cheaper.
Good afternoon, and you join us here at Silverstone for the They Think It's All Over practice session. I should explain that as in Formula One, these practice laps are timed, so the faster you go, the better position you have on the grid. Hurst there in the untaxed Williams had a bit of trouble at the start when he hot-wired his car out of habit. And as he drives past those women, Rory McGrath is in pole position, at least part of him is. Dangerously tight turn. I expect there'll be skid marks there. We'll find out when he takes his suit off later. And McGrath finishes his first lap in 1:23.94, which puts him in the lead, which is hardly surprising as he's the first driver to complete a lap. And Lineker's grabbed the lead with 1:19.23. Incredible! And goes in trouble. He's stuck behind a caravan. Surely you have to question the decision to hold this race on a bank holiday. And there, I've just seen Hurst finishing his first lap. It looks a pretty fast lap. Yes, he's finishing at 1:17.75 and goes into the lead. McGrath fiddling with his helmet there. He really should stop that and concentrate on driving. Gower, yes, his first lap, believe it or not, is 1:17.94, just behind Hurst. And it's back to Nick in the pits.
Now, before the race starts, just a few words about the significance of the flags used to signal to the drivers once the race has begun. First of all, the black flag means that they must stop the race immediately. The checkered flag, of course, means that the race has been won. The red flag means that this beach is unsafe for bathing. The white flag means that Damon Hill has surrendered. And if you see the red flag with Lion Rampant suspended from Cornet, it means that David Gower is in residence. Now we're about the points. The winner will get 10 points, second will get 6, third will get 4, and fourth will get 3. And now it's time for the race. So down to the starting line and the sound of that ever so slightly unfamiliar voice.
So the grid order is as follows. Hurst, and in the dirty track it's Gower, then Lineker and McGrath. And just listen to